The journey itself is my home. Do not seek to follow in the footsteps of the wise. Seek what they sought. Winter solitude in a world of one color. The sound of the wind. Sitting quietly, doing nothing. Spring comes and the grass grows by itself. Real poetry is to lead a beautiful life. To live poetry is better than to write it. This autumn, why am I growing old? Bird disappearing among clouds. Come, butterfly, it's late. We've miles to go together. Every day is a journey, and the journey itself is home. All heaven and earth flowered white, obliterate. Snow, unceasing snow. April's air stirs in willow leaves. A butterfly floats and balances. Many solemn nights, blonde moon, we stand and marvel, sleeping our noons away. Come, see the true flowers of this pained world. When composing a verse, let there not be a hair's breadth separating your mind from what you write. Composition of a poem must be done in an instant, like a woodcutter felling a huge tree or a swordsman leaping at a dangerous enemy. Between our two lives, there is also the life of the cherry blossom. Summer grasses, all that remains of soldiers' dreams. Dead, my old fine hopes, and dry my dreaming but still iris. Blue each spring. The moon and the sun are travelers through eternity. Even the years wander on, whether drifting through life on a boat or climbing towards old age leading a horse. Each day is the journey. How I long to see among dawn flowers the face of God. Sadly, I part from you. Like a clam torn from its shell, I go, and autumn too. On a bare branch, a crow is perched. Autumn evening. Mountain rose petals, falling, falling, falling snow, waterfall music. Even in Kyoto, hearing the cuckoo's cry, I long for Kyoto. Harvest moon, around the pond I wander, and the night is gone. There is nothing you can see that is not a flower. There is nothing you can think that is not the moon. Ballet in the air, twin butterflies until, twice white, they meet, they mate. Nothing in the cry of cicadas suggests they are about to die. No matter where your interest lies, you will not be able to accomplish anything unless you bring your deepest devotion to it. Why so scrawny, cat, starving for fat fish or mice or backyard love? Awakened at midnight by the sound of the water jar cracking from the ice. The temple bell stops, but the sound keeps coming out of the flowers. Describe plum blossoms. Better than my verses, white, wordless butterflies. Winter garden, the moon thinned to a thread. Insects singing. Old, dark, sleepy pool. Quick, unexpected frog. Goes plop, water splash. Not knowing the name of the tree, I stood in the flood of its sweet scent. How much I desire, inside my little satchel, the moon and flowers. Poverty's child, he starts to grind the rice and gazes at the moon. When a country is defeated, there remain only mountains and rivers. And on a ruined castle in spring, only grasses thrive. I sat down on my hat and wept bitterly till I almost forgot time. a thicket of summer grass, is all that remains of the dreams and ambitions of ancient warriors. Moon woke me up 9 times, still just 4 a.m. If I had the knack, I'd sing like cherry flakes falling. "Don't touch my plum tree," said my friend, and saying so, broke the branch for me. Pausing between clouds, the moon rests in the eyes of its beholders. All who have achieved excellence in art possess one thing in common. That is, a mind to be one with nature throughout the seasons. Amorous cat, alas, you too must yowl with your love, or even worse, without. If you're an oak, you don't pretend you are a flower. Lightning doesn't leave you enlightened. Good to know that. Hidden and unknown like the moon, I will live my life. Days and months are travelers of eternity. So are the years that pass by. Those who steer a boat across the sea or drive a horse over the earth till they succumb to the weight of years spend every minute of their lives traveling. There are a great number of ancients, too, who died on the road. I myself have been tempted for a long time by cloud-moving wind, filled with a strong desire to wander. The past remains hidden in the clouds of memory. Seek on high, bare trails, sky reflecting violets, mountaintop jewels. In the end, without skill or talent, I've given myself over entirely to poetry. I labored at it until I nearly burst. Starve rather than abandon it. Neither my intelligence nor my writing is comparable to such men. Nevertheless, in the end, we all live in phantom huts. At one time, I was very weary of verse writing and wanted to give it up. At another time, I was determined to be a poet until I could establish a proud name over others. The alternatives battled in my mind and made my life restless. In this mortal frame of mine, which is made of 100 bones and 9 orifices, there is something. And this something is called a wind-swept spirit, for lack of a better name. For it is much like a thin drapery that is torn and swept away at the slightest stir of the wind. This something in me took to writing poetry years ago, merely to amuse itself at first, but finally making it its lifelong business. It must be admitted, however, that there were times when it sank into such dejection that it was almost ready to drop its pursuit. Or again, times when it was so puffed up with pride that it exulted in vain victories over others. Indeed, ever since it began to write poetry, it has never found peace with itself, always wavering between doubts of the one kind and another. At one time, it wanted to gain security by entering the service of a court, and at another, it wished to measure the depth of its ignorance by trying to be a scholar. But it was prevented from either because of its unquenchable love of poetry. The fact is, it knows no other art than the art of writing poetry, and therefore it hangs on to it, more or less blindly. The deep stillness, seeping into rocks. The voice of the cicadas,